So I've been getting a lot of questions about core spinning yarns, especially the lumpy, bumpy, bulky core spun yarns. So I thought I'd do a short video to give you some ideas about how I go about making these yarns. So I start out with a boucle of some kind, something with some grip to it. This is a poly boucle, something very simple. And then I lightly card it up a bat. In this case I used some cormo and some merino wool. I also added some sparkle to it and a few sari silk thrums or threads for some added character. So what I want to do to join it is I'm just going to overlap it with the existing fiber that's already on my core, and then I'm simply holding the core yarn more or less taut in my right hand while I draft and allow it to wind on with my left hand. And then in order to have a denser, fuller yarn, something that will give it a little bit more stability over time, because these yarns can be very fragile if you're not careful, then I will periodically slide some of the fiber up the core in order to create a little density. You might have noticed that I will also at times twist the fiber around on itself, which will give it a little bit more three-dimension in bulk. See how as it climbs up the yarn it gets denser, but it continues to retain its softness. There's no real science to how much or how little I let travel up the thread. It's kind of a go by feel kind of thing. If you let less go on, it's not pushed up as tight. You're going to get a loftier, fluffier yarn, but because not all of the fiber is, I don't know what to call it, but because it's not all drafted in as firmly, the more that you do that, the more pilling and breakdown you're going to get over time. So it depends on what end use you have in mind. You can also see that I'm maintaining a really low treadle count. Really going slow, so I don't over twist the yarn. If I pull it back out, you can see it's got a little bit of twist to it, over twist, but it's not substantial. Doing it this way really allows you to get the texture that, at least personally, I prefer in my yarns. I like a lot of texture. Anybody that's seen my yarns knows that I'm all about the texture and the color. Deciding to do this video has been coming for a while, but actually was sparked by a conversation I had online with someone a few days ago about whether or not yarns this lofty and this soft were durable enough to actually use in your fiber arts work. And I maintain that they are, if you do them properly. Thought I'd see if I couldn't show you how I make that happen. It's really not doing anything new here. I'm not creating any new techniques. I'm really just giving it my own interpretation of old methods. I've relied heavily on the work of Lexi Boger, who wrote 2 books on spinning art yarns. The most recent one is called Plucky Fluff. Sorry, that's her first one. It's called Intertwined. And for any budding art yarn spinners out there, I highly recommend that as a resource. There's also a new video coming out from J.C. Boggs. Can't think of the title of it right now, but she just got delivery of her videos, and they should be available for purchase very soon. If you do get one, keep your eye out. A couple of items in the video that were modeled by members of the band that did the background music for it. that were made with my COLORBOMB Creations art yarns. So definitely look for those when you see the video. There's also footage of my Babies in a Blender hat, which I crocheted using using JC's yarn. She goes by the name Insubordinate online if you haven't seen her before. So that gives you an idea of how I do some core spinning, some lofty, bulky, lumpy, bumpy core spinnings. I call my line of lightly carded core spun yarns like this Woolly Bear. So if you're interested in purchasing some of these yarns, you can find them at COLORBOMBcreations.etsy.com and look for the Woolly Bear yarns if you want one like this, or its smaller little brother or sister, the Woolly Bear Cub yarn, which is a smaller gauge. Well, thanks for bearing with me with my first effort at making a video, and happy spinning! And don't forget, color can't hurt you.